Hi, this is Dreyer and welcome to the Financial Freedom Challenge, where our mission is to help you to create, to grow, to protect and to enjoy a life of abundance. And today I'd like to talk to you about the zagger principle. Now, the zagger principle is based on a universal principle, and there's a Latin saying that expresses this best, vale is posse. So it basically means where there's a will, there's a way. And you'll find that this principle can only apply if you're a zagger or a blizzer, and that's the reason why I call it the zagger principle. So in life we're going to find that there are four types of people. The first two is what we call opportunity seekers. Now, what they don't want to do is they don't want to take responsibility. And that gives them the opportunity to blame other people and to blame events and to blame the world for them not being successful. Now, the moment that you turn into a zagger, and this is a process, normally we grow into this. The moment that you become a zagger, then you're going to see and experience, your belief system is going to change, where you're going to say, okay, everything that I've got is because of what I've done. In other words, I'm prepared to take full responsibility for everything that happened in my life, that has happened in my life, that is busy happening in my life, and that's going to happen in my life. In other words, by simply taking responsibility, you are going to change your destiny, you're going to change the outcome, because you're going to make different choices, and therefore the decision based on that choice is going to put you in a different position. And I like to use the wealth creator strategy and therefore the formula for riches to achieve that I want. But one of these principles that I've turned basically into a strategy is that of the zagger principle. Now, the zagger principle says that in life, because I'm taking responsibility, sometimes things are not going to work out the way that I plan it to work out. And therefore, I need to find almost like an alternative, but I have to stick with my intent. In other words, we always start with the intent. In my case, I've started with 2 cents recently, and I want to turn the 2 cents into at least 200,000 Rand within the next year, and I'm only going to start next year with my next 91-day cycle, right? So, but that does not mean that I'm not already preparing. So let's assume, and this is one of the things that I wanted to prove to people, is that I'm going to invest in some of the most riskiest events or types of class of investments that you can possibly invest, right? Now, in order to do that, I need to find the capital. It's almost like I want to buy a house, but I don't want to go to the bank to fund the house, and I don't want to use my own money, and I don't want to use the security of someone else, and I don't want to stand security, that sort of thing. So the principle with the zagger principle is exactly the same thing, and I can apply it in any way in my life, especially on the financial side. So what I want is to have the principle or the seed capital in order to start this, but I can't use more than 2 cents. Now the trick is, the way that I think, the 2 cents was the intent, but if I can start an investment with 2 cents, why can't I start it with 0? So the 2 cents was the intent, that was the seed, that was the idea, and because of that idea, I'm going to build an investment within the next year that's going to give me at least 200,000 Rand. So by the end of the year, there will be at least a minimum guaranteed of 200,000 Rand. But I can't start it unless I've got the money, just like I can't buy a property unless I've got the money, unless I want to go to the bank. And that's where the zagger principle comes into play. So how are we going to do this? Well, remember I said that you must first of all have the intent, and you don't need to know how you're going to do it, and you don't need to know what you're going to do. So that makes it completely different to any other type of goal. Plus, it has to be a 10 out of 10 in terms of desirability, and it must be a 10 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. And then, of course, we don't need to know how to do it. But here's a trick. The moment that you've got an idea, or the moment that something happens where you think maybe this can work, now I have to take action on it. So my subconscious mind is going to present me with opportunities, tons of opportunities. I have to evaluate that. I've got a business and an investment evaluation process that I go through, and that is basically to see if I can take that concept from zero, from fundamentals, through a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If it hasn't got the potential to go through up to a level 7, I'm going to abandon that, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to continue with this investment or this business. Right. So I've got a strategy, and based part of this strategy, I can eliminate a lot of ideas that comes to me very, very quickly. So the idea that I've got at the moment, and this is not necessarily going to be the final idea, because there may be 50 ideas before we actually start the process. But yesterday, my staff came to me and said to me, "Honest, are we going to run another Black Friday?" So apparently Friday is going to be, there's an international thing called Black Friday where people are giving stuff on a sale, and it's something that comes from America, and it's purely driven in terms of commerce. But why can't I turn that into an incredible opportunity to add immense value to other people? So if I can add a lot of value by really and truly and honestly give them a massive discount on some of the products, because I've got a lot of people on my database, and there's millions of people out there that simply can't afford the normal training that I'm giving. It's just beyond them. They or they can't see the value of that. So if we can really cut the price just basically for a day or for 2 days maximum, then we can add a lot of value. So, and that immediately gave me an idea. In other words, how can I use the gifts, the talents, the skills, that I've already got? And how can I convert that into something where I can add massive value? And not only value in terms of what I can do and how I can help people, but also in terms of value where I cut my price for a day or for 2 days. So it's only people that's going to react that's going to give that price, because it's not going to be there forever. And it has to be something spectacular. It has to be something that I've never offered before, and or that I've never created before. Right, and that is how I'm going to apply the zagger principle. Now, the zagger principle, really, it is something that I think that you should pay very close attention to, and by simply asking yourself the question, okay, but how can I add value to other people? What skills do I add? What problems do I encounter? Because each and every problem is an opportunity to overcome, and in the process to help other people. So this is going to be your challenge for today, is to write down, make a list of each and every gift that you've got that can benefit other people, or skill that you've got, or something that you're better than most people with, or something that you've overcome, or some problem that you've solved in your life that has helped you, or some a cause. For example, one of the things that I've done when I started the debt eradication course was simply to go to see, but is there other people that is offering something similar? Because, and in the process I've learned. Now I've used the principles and the basics that I've applied in 1984, but I wanted to see and to test to see if there's a market, and for that reason I simply entered into an affiliate with someone to see and to test the market, because it's going to cost me no money to promote this thing, and the moment that I see that people are interested in that, I know, well, there's a market for it. In other words, I can use this information, my experiences, and build something that can help other people, and it's going to be totally different to what the course that I've promoted. And by the way, I've actually bought that course in order to see, but what's going through other people's mind when they present a course, and how do they do that, so that I can have a benchmark at least to see and to measure myself against. So that is what I want you to do in terms of the challenge for today. Write down so every single thing that you know, the gifts, the talents, the problems, and how you can add value. But here's a trick: not over a year or 5 years. In other words, go and study something in order to be able to do it. How can you do it within the next day or week or month at the most? Because remember, in the Rainmaker startup business, we've got this little formula. It is basically, it's the 60-30 1000% formula, 60 days from the moment that you've got the intent. And as you can see, from the moment that I had the intent with the 2 cents, things are really starting to speed up. And I'm using the Wealth Creators strategy the whole time, each and every time, as well as the formula for riches, in order to check me to see if I can apply this. Okay, so make sure that you know what it is that you want, right? And then in terms of what gifts and problems do you have, and how can you turn that into let's call it a value where you can get money in return for that you do. And that is going to be then the seed capital if you need seed capital. In my case, I will need seed capital if I want to invest in something great. At this stage, I'm taking, I can almost say that the zagger technique is a shortcut to get started, because as soon as you've made the commitment, you can't back out. And at the moment, I'm busy making the commitment in order to test my desirability, because unless you're serious about something, you're not going to make a commitment like this that you're going to put out to everyone that's basically on Facebook or everyone that can watch your YouTube videos. So that is just a way to prove your intent and your belief systems. Of course, if I do not believe that I will be able to do it, there's no ways that I'll make a public announcement like I'm doing for the last couple of days in terms of what I'm busy doing. So the first thing that I want you to do, yes, how to take action. The first thing is simply identify that you're good at, or that you can help other people, and maybe you're good at, but not necessarily the best, just better than most other people. The second thing that I want you to do is then, what's the first step? Identify the first step that you can take in order to make this a reality for you. Who can you go out and help, and how quickly can you do that in order to help other people and to solve their problems? That's basically that. So in closing, always remember that in order to create financial freedom, you must make sure that today is going to be a perfect day. And that simply means that there will never be a day in your life that won't require you to take full responsibility for each and every action. You can't become a wealth creator if you do not want to take the responsibility. It's simply not possible. You're going to stay a lagger or a zigger. It's that simple. And you'll never be financially free unless you're a zagger, and unless you move. And to enjoy that freedom, you have to move into what we call the blizzard phase as well. But that can only happen once you're a zagger. So it's literally stepping blocks that you're going to follow. Now, in order to do this, it means that each and every day you must know exactly what it is that you want. In other words, you must know exactly your intent. And that intent must be crystal clear, and you must formulate it according to the power morphing process, where the subconscious mind knows exactly what it is. It's because my subconscious mind knows the outcome that I want, that it starts giving me inputs. And it's weird the way that it's going to work. It's really mind-boggling if we really think about it, because things that you never thought, or things that you've overlooked, suddenly, well, what about if I start doing it? So the universe will always give you the clues, but you have to take action in terms of the next step. And that means that you're going to put in the time. It means that you're going to put in the effort. And you must be able to do the calculation before you actually start this process. Because you have to ask yourself the question right in the way, and this is one of the steps of the evaluation process that I'm following. Am I prepared to put in the time, the effort, to change my mindsets if that needs to be, or adopt the right mindset? And am I willing to put in the time and effort in order to learn skills and to master the competencies that I will need in order to make this thing a reality? And this 2 cents, the ideas that I've got at the moment, every single one of them, because it has to be something that I've never done before. That means that I have to learn new skill sets, and I have to master new skill sets, because otherwise I'm not going to be successful. And it's only because of that I'm willing to put in the time and the effort and the mindset, and then prepared to take massive action that is going to work. And for that reason, this is what you need to do. You need to adopt this and take massive action. Consistently doing that needs to be done. It's the only way to get the results that you're going to that you want. And hopefully that is financial freedom. That simply means that each and every day, each and every thought that you've got, each and every action that you're going to take is either going to take you one step closer to or one step away from financial freedom. It's that simple. Therefore, if you want to guarantee yourself financial freedom, I want you to apply the Zagger principle, and I want you to apply it today. In other words, go and sit down and say, how can I add value to other people and how can I monetize that? Now, I've got different ways that I can help you with this. I've got several courses. You can phone the office if you'd like to, or you can do something like the Facebook course, or you can do something like the digital product, the blueprint, how to develop a concept idea, turn that into an informational product, and how to sell that on the internet or online. And that is one of the quickest and the fastest ways that I know where you can turn an idea into a product and literally within 30 days start making money. And then of course, if you want to promote that idea, Facebook and YouTube and webinars are excellent ways to do it, and I can help you with those as well. Right, so as always, if you've got any questions or comments or suggestions regarding financial freedom, please post them in the comment box below, and I will see if I can help you. And then also remember to subscribe to my blog, that is blog.honestdreyer.com, if you're not already on it. Also to my YouTube channel perhaps, and to Facebook. I've got two Facebook, I've got actually several Facebooks. One of the things that I think you should do is subscribe at least to my official, it's Dr. Honest Dreyer official, I think, to that. And then also maybe to the explosive growth, just Facebook, in Facebook, search for that. I'm going to start posting more regular on that as well, because this 2 cent challenge is actually part of the accelerator principle that I'm going to use on the 5 cents, okay? But it's something completely brand new that I plan to do. I'm not 100% sure, although there's a couple of options that I'm looking at currently. And then yes, some feedback regarding my heart rate challenge. I've done what I was supposed to do. I feel good about that. And then please share this video with other people if you think that it can help them. You know, that is the way that we're going to spread the word. I believe that what we're teaching here in terms of the wealth creator strategy and the formula for riches and freedom is something that no one else is teaching. And we need to get this out to the masses because as soon as they start changing their mindset, everything is going to change. We're going to take literally the whole world to a next or a higher energetic level, to that of a wealth creator. And as soon as we start operating that will have a critical mass, and as soon as the critical mass starts coming in, we're going to change everything, the political environment, the economic environment, the mental environment of the human race. And it is really something that I'm looking forward to. So I've really enjoyed making this video for you. I hope that it helped you, and I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. Right, I'll see you then tomorrow.